I agree with that, and I think in business, yes, you do need to do that, but at the same point, you know, um, there for a while, I was following somebody who anywhere online, whether he was online or whether he was on stage or whatever, he almost always wore. Sometimes he would wear jeans, but a lot of times he wore shorts and a
Right.
tank top
Right.
and flip flops. And
Okay.
yet, still went and listened and followed him, but
Sure.
because of the value that he shared. But I had, I admit when I first started following him, I had troubles with him because of the fact that he didn't look professional to me. I had a hard time relating to him
Yes.
because of me being a more professional type person with being an accountant and stuff like that. So therefore, it gave me a roadblock for a while until I got to hear and see some of his success, and I realized, okay, there's more to him than just appearance.
Yeah.
But sometimes I think when you're dealing with people, you have to be able to get them to understand that there's more than the appearance, that's the value that you have. But sometimes you got to play the part first in order to bring them in, so then that way you can share and do that, and then you can open up and be more yourself too. And I think there's room for that, and especially as entrepreneurs, as you gain and get people to, once again, know, like, and trust you.
It's like a job interview. You can think it of that. I'm going to put on the suit because I want to build that trust. I want to build my, even though it's not my individual, I want to build that. Okay, Kareem is a legit dude. He's going to show, he has a suit, he has an, and I usually am. I was just kind of dressing down for this one. But I want to build that suit and go into that job interview and nail it. Then I can come in if the company allows me in different types of clothes. And that's the fun part of you dress up to really build that rapport, and then you can dress down because people trust you. The suit, you can kind of think of it as just a different uniform for something. And it's all cool, the power hour, I'm not going to tell you what to wear. As long as you don't wear a New England shirt, then I'd be like, oh, come on, man. I'd be sad. I'd be like, So the interesting thing about that, though, is even though we have different dress styles today, some business casual, some formal, some semi-formal, the fourth point is one of the biggest ones, building a tribe and creating a tribe. And I don't mean that we're all going to run around with sticks and spears and then do weird stuff and dance around the candlelight or the fire. I mean people who all say, hey, this guy is onto something, or these guys or girls or whatever it is are onto something. And then slowly it turns from just an idea in a head to a community. And I know you guys all have different tribes, and you've started some tribes as well. I'd love to hear more about that.
Yeah, and I mean, before big cities and towns were created, the human race was accustomed to working and living in tribes. So this is kind of a tribe if you think about it. A mastermind can be considered a tribe. People working together towards one common goal or vision can be considered a tribe. And I think it's important, at least for me, to make sure that the people involved in this mastermind get the best value possible for investing their time. I always want to give people, quoting Michael Delohe here, value in exchange for their time. I think that's very important because time is something that is precious. We don't get time back. And I'm really happy that I learned that in Pay Me What I'm Worth as well, is that nothing is priceless because time is value. And I want to honor the worth of people who come here and share their time with us and are interested in what we're doing. So I want to give the most worth that I can for the time that people are putting in. And by doing that, people are going to come back. So throw the ball, somebody catch it. Bill, Dan, Marcia, Fran.
I think you do very well with giving value every week.
Thank you.
The topic for tonight, I thought was very well presented. The article that you took the topic from tonight was very well written, and there were many referral links in that article that to read it and really comprehend the value of that article, it could take you probably 2 days to read an article and to do all the subtitles and the references. There's just a vault of information in that article. It was so well done.
Yeah, I really liked it. I thought this one was going to be a powerful one, and I'm glad you guys are all here, because the great thing about this is after we're all done, the world gets to see us. And that's the exciting thing in this day and age that I couldn't fathom in 1988 and the early 90s when I was born, that a world of people could see videos that I'd be making with different individuals. But we can, and that's why promotion, and I'm actually going to put these two together.
Sure, yeah, you might as well.
Promotion and collaboration. Because we're all collaborating with you now. We collaborated with David Wolf. Just imagine when you're starting whatever you're doing as an entrepreneur and you meet somebody who's way up here, and then you send an email out to them or you talk to them, which don't be afraid to do. Least they can do is not get back to you. The best is they will get back to you, and most people do. So when you start promoting what you're doing to bigger people with the confidence, and they start seeing it, they'll collaborate with you. Suddenly your tribe gets bigger because, look, you built trust with them, the individuality part of your own specific brand, and not to put that, but then they're seeing that, oh, you're creating some type of value, and you want to create value at their level. That's why I think communication and collaboration with whatever you're doing are the most important steps. And it comes down to seeing who is doing what in my industry, hitting them up on Facebook or LinkedIn, and then finding one way to interact with them, whether you want to interview them, bring them on the show, or just talk to them on the phone, or have some type of platform.
Well, I have said in the past, and I'll say it again, that I am so proud of you and Chris and where you've gone with the Power Hour, that I believed in when you when you first started, and you probably thought, okay, we're talking to this old lady, but we'll listen to what she has to say and take what we can use and discount whatever babble she comes up with. But I just felt, it's one thing that I've got years of experience, but you do burn out. And, if you're building a fence, the post is going to give out before the hole does.
Yeah.
So at some point, no. Okay. But anyway, back to, you do have to pass the baton.
Yes.
And I realized that, hey, I'm not going to be around forever, and at some point you're going to build a foundation that you've grown on, and you're going to pass a baton to the next generation. And I just pictured you and Chris as somebody that we're going to take that and run with it, and you've not disappointed me.
Well, thank you. That means a lot.
Yeah, that really does.
Yeah.
And we're not going to stop. Honestly, my kids are like, I want to go to college, and I'll beat them. I'm like, no, you gotta get on the camera every week.
It's like Morgan Spurlock when he says, whenever I see, whenever my kids are in the car with me and they want to go to McDonald's, I'm going to punch them in the face. Because think about it. I mean, who wants to feed their kid McDonald's? That's got to be one of the worst things you can give a child. So I agree with you in that sentiment, Kareem, that, a college degree does not guarantee success in anything, really, except a job that you go to, and eventually you end up so crazy you climb a clock tower from doing the same thing for 40 years every day. It's not a future that is conducive to mass exploration of the world, mass exploration of yourself, mass exploration of the field of helping other people. You don't get wealthy by working a job. You get wealthy by serving others. There's a huge difference, because when you're working a job, like I do mail for a living. I do newspapers, and I carry letters. I do letters and packages and things like that. I actually picked up some extra work with Canada Post, so I'm making some more money that way as well. And so I go and get my papers, and then I go and get the mail from the Canada Post on Douglas Street, and I just put it all in my car, and I do the exact same route, so I don't have to drive extra distance. And you know, I'm being of service to my customers, and the really cool thing about my job is that during the Christmas season, those people are so nice. They come outside, you know, they'll give me a cup of coffee, they might offer me a piece of toast or something, but you know, they give me about $500 every year in tips between all my customers, and that's like, holy, you know, I don't even ask, and I've never asked. They're just like, you do such a good job, you're here with our paper every day, and in case I miss them, you know, because I'm too tired or something, because I do burn the midnight oil way too much, so that's something I got to work on. But, you know, just the fact that I can do that, and they give me money for that, and they're like, because what I do is I give them my personal phone number, so that if I'm at home or I'm on another part of the road and I've missed them, they can call me, and I'll go, yeah, I'll be right there, and come back with your paper, and I go back and deliver it for them, you know. So I mean, that's being of service, that's having integrity, and that's basically every principle we just mentioned, you know. So very, very important for me to do that. So I'm trying to implement.
Well, you demonstrate it, you practice it, and
yes,
it comes through, and your customers, your clients realize that, and you're not all words, no action.
Yeah, I'm trying to integrate word equals deed as best as I can from what I learned in Pay Me What I'm Worth. And there's been times when my word hasn't always matched my deed, so I'm working very hard to change all that in every aspect of my life, including my job, including Kareem, including the Power Hour, including all of you and everyone we're going to be serving with our services. So I have to practice that in every area of my life. It can't just be one thing and not something else, because things aren't going to line up. I'm not going to attract, there's going to be conflict, energy conflict, and polarizations in my paradigm. So I'm realizing all this, and I'm making the necessary changes, and I'm learning, and I'm like, okay, put it in.
Well, look at where you come, just as a Power Hour. Look where you started. Look at where you come. Look at the interest that you've generated, and the new prospects that have come into your life, and the contributors, the monetary contributors that you didn't have to start with. Who would have thought 2 years ago that you'd be here now?
Well,